This is day 7 of the 30-day reading challenge, and today's book is one that revolves around space, and definitely my favorite space-related sci-fi novel so far. The Martian is Andy Weir's debut novel, and it's about 369 pages. I'm sure plenty of people have already read this since I'm usually late to trends, but anyhow, here's a brief overview of the story and book format. The Martian is set in the year 2035, and NASA has started the Ares program, which sends people to explore the planet of Mars. Mark Watney is a botanist and mechanical engineer who is part of the Ares 3 program along with 5 others. However, briefly after they land, the crew is hit with a massive sandstorm. Mark was unexpectedly injured, and amidst the sandstorm, his crew members and commander believed he was dead and escaped without him. However, Mark was able to heal, and the book follows his journey as the first lone man on Mars, and how people on Earth and space united to bring him back. There are plenty of things that I love about this book, but I'll take it one step at a time. The book format is quite unique. The majority of the book focuses on Mark in the form of his journal entries. However, after a few chapters, we are taken back to Earth, where NASA figures out he's alive and work extremely hard to find ways to keep him alive and transport him back to Earth. Eventually, we also learn of the rest of the crew, how they're doing, and their plans to help. There's a first-person point of view as well as third-person. If you like movies, these can probably be described as scene switches. At times, these scene switches can happen quite frequently, and if you dislike multiple points of views in a story altogether, then you may be a bit uncomfortable while reading this. However, that's a minor price to pay for what the book offers. The Martian is unbelievably nerdy, yet funny. As the narrator of his own journals, Mark Watney effortlessly combines complicated scientific space concepts and equations with jokes and laugh-out-loud humor. Here's an excerpt from the book to illustrate what I'm talking about. Within a week, the Martian soil will be ready for plants to germinate in, but I won't plant yet. I'll bring in more lifeless soil from outside and spread some of the live soil over it. It'll infect the new soil, and I'll have double what I started with. After another week, I'll double it again, and so on. Of course, all the while, I'll be adding new manure to the effort. My asshole is doing as much to keep me alive as my brain. This isn't a new concept I just came up with. People have speculated on how to make crop soil out of Martian dirt for decades. I'll just be putting it to the test for the first time. I searched through the food supplies and found all sorts of things that I can plant. Peas, for instance. Plenty of beans, too. I also found several potatoes. If any of them can still germinate after their ordeal, that'll be great. With a near infinite supply of vitamins, all I need are calories of any kind to survive. The total floor space of the hab is about 92 square meters. I plan to dedicate all of this to the endeavor. I don't mind walking on dirt. It'll be a lot of work, but I'm going to need to cover the entire floor to a depth of 10 centimeters. That means I'll have to transfer 9.2 cubic meters of Martian soil into the hab. I can get maybe 1/10 of a cubic meter in through the airlock at a time, and it'll be back-breaking work to collect it. But in the end, if everything goes to plan, I'll have 92 square meters of crop-able soil. Hell yeah, I'm a botanist! Fear my botany powers! Log entry, Sol 15. Ugh, this is back-breaking work! So, you might see what I'm coming at there. If you're curious to know more about this and what happens, I'm sure you'll enjoy the book as much as I did. Some of the terms and concepts will definitely be unfamiliar to you, unless you're a space expert. If you're fascinated by that, you can search them up, but most of the time, these terms shouldn't hinder your comprehension and enjoyment of the book too much. As a nerd myself, I found this book to be magnificent, and it helped me to regain interest in space and the universe. So whether you're looking for an emotional adventure and understanding about space and Mars, or just a good laugh, The Martian is for you. It'll help you gain an understanding about what it's like to be an astronaut, and just how hard it is to survive in a place that isn't Earth. You might even learn some things, not only about space, but how to crack jokes, how to adapt, and, of course, how to think on your feet. One thing I'm not sure at all about the validity of the extensive amount of facts in this book, but then again, they didn't bother me, so it shouldn't bother you either, unless you're really into space science. There's also a movie with the same name as the book, released in 2015. I have no idea how good that is, though I'm sure I'll check that out soon. Even if I don't watch the movie, I'm sure that I'll at least read this book again sometime in the future. Perhaps I'll gain some more out of it than I did this time. So that's today's book. If I missed anything, help me out. If you've read the book, feel free to share any thoughts and feelings. I absolutely love this book, but if you didn't, what bothered you? Any other comments or questions, let me know. Thank you all for listening.